Hi guys, we are here with Dustin David Pyer and John Bailey from North Dakota Cannabis Caucus, and we are here to let you know what this group is about. What is North Dakota Cannabis Caucus? Dustin.
So the North Dakota Cannabis Caucus is composed of 3 political action committees registered in North Dakota. It's Real ND News is the oldest one, but it's only a couple years old. About the time towards the end of Measure 3, the Committee for Compassionate Care started up and became a registered political action committee. And then we also got Veterans for Safe Access to Cannabis. So those 3 PACs have come together under one banner, the ND Cannabis Caucus, and what we do is we fight for legislation to reform all angles of cannabis, from legalization to constitutional protection, the right to grow hemp, expungement of records, and just criminal justice reform as a whole is actually what's kind of snowballing out of it, and that's just kind of where the movement's going. And we have people like John Bailey who signed up to be a lobbyist this year, and we had 5 lobbyists, and we put together a team after Measure 3 failed that was determined that that wasn't the end. And we came up with a list of over 30 illnesses, and I believe we got 4 of them passed and signed by the governor. We came up with a way to expand the grow facilities for the medical program, even though they tacked on a massive fee again. We did get some sort of movement out of that, and several other reforms. And we also found out, that there isn't a lot of citizen lobbyists in North Dakota, and there's not a lot of citizen activists. And this group is just self-propelling itself right now, and the trifecta is working out great, and it's awesome what a bunch of rookies can really do when put our minds together.
Yeah.
And what is the sole purpose of this group now going forward?
Right now, the session's over. We're kind of watching what Doug Burgum's signing, but our main focus right now is constitutional protection. Individual freedom for the citizens of North Dakota to possess, cultivate, and consume any and all varieties of the plant genus cannabis, to direct the legislators to create a system of taxation, regulation, sale, research, and any other stuff like that. And then also it has a separate clause in there that says you have to ask your neighbors of a political subdivision for the right of public sale. And the reason why I put that in there was because we felt that we didn't want to infringe on anybody else's right to not have a dispensary. So
This on the ballot. And when would it be on the ballot?
So first off, you have to come up with an idea. Our idea is personal freedom. Tell the legislators to do their job, and ask your neighbors and then we'll have up to 1 year to collect 26,050 signatures. So we're going for 30,000 signatures, and any North Dakota citizen can collect signatures for this once it starts. You go onto the Secretary of State website, you print it off, get 50 signatures, you get it notarized, and then you mail it back to us. And right now we're seeking 100 people to help us do that. We're probably somewhere in the 50-60 range for that, and that means that each person only has to get 300 signatures, or what's 300? About 1 signature a day is what it comes out to, and that's with 100 people. And that's not counting the powerhouse businesses that are already backing us. We're over a dozen businesses statewide now, and so basically we're going to have the businesses as our powerhouses, and then the boots on the ground are going to make a rural push, and we're setting up a 12 event, 12-month tour, and we're going to hit rural North Dakota hard and fill in all those gaps where we got crushed with Measure 3, and places where medical marijuana barely passed, but it's an education tour, and it's going to be, you know, filled with nurses and educators and lawyers, doctors, sheriffs. I mean, we've made all these connections with the Cannabis Caucus through our lobbying efforts.
Is North Dakota ready for ending prohibition of cannabis?
Well, we think so, and we think we have a measure that you know, it gives people personal freedom, and I think a large number of North Dakotans believe in personal freedom. I think the largest number of educated voters are in the primary. I mean, this industry is just exploding, and really it's untamable at this point. So basically, you have to bend to the will of the people. This is a huge movement, and you know, the good old boys in North Dakota can't even stop it. So I think North Dakota is ready.
Besides signing up to collect signatures or just signing the petitions, also, how can people help to make this happen?
Well, we're really looking for what we're calling the Green Crew members, and a membership to the ND Cannabis Caucus, which will get you one of these cool buttons or a bracelet, something like that, is $4.20. And if you become a Green Crew member, which is a monthly reoccurring donor of $4.20, after your third donation, we're going to get you one of our 2 styles of shirts. And basically, we're looking for 100 people, again, to be the backbone, to get us $420 a month, which is enough to get our 12-month event going. So right now we're at about 22 people. We're getting about 1 or 2 people a day, and that's a solid pace, and then we just need to keep that going. But the Green Crew membership is just extremely important. As we saw with Measure 3, there was a lot of fake news or false information. Basically, these large political action committees, you know, we're a grassroots political action committee of 3. The Petroleum Council, you know, all they have to do is write a check for $400,000, and all of a sudden every gas station in North Dakota has an anti-cannabis side of it. And, you know, we need to really make sure we combat that. Always remember that, you know, if you give us $10, we're going to stretch it out to 100 at least, and that's every dollar, whether it's 1,000 or whatever.
Oh, from both of you, for those people that voted no last time, what would your main sell be to them that they should reconsider and vote yes this time?
Well, the difference between our measure and Measure 3 is we're going into the North Dakota Constitution, Article 1, which is the Declaration of Rights. And we're saying that cannabis is a right. We're not saying how much, we're not saying what you did in the past, we're not going to change any of that. All we're saying is that cannabis is a right. And you have a choice. You are either voting to fuel the drug war, or you're voting to fuel the economy. And those are your only 2 choices with our measure.
There were several reasons that people voted no against Measure 3, kind of all over the board. A lot of them stemmed from fake news is a term now. a lot of old propaganda, a lot of misleading propaganda, things like that. I guess the first thing would be important to find out is why they voted no. But like Dustin pointed out, this constitutional protection, that's exactly what it is. It's personal, private protection. It's not infringing on anybody else. It's personal, private protection. If you want to partake, then you have that right. If you don't want to partake, you don't have that right. The legislature passed, as Dustin mentioned earlier today, a decrypt bill. And it's a ticketable offense. There's a fine, things of that nature. It's not like it's scot-free, but there's nowhere to access that. You can get a half ounce of cannabis or less, and it's a ticket. You can't access that half ounce of cannabis without breaking the law. It's not there. With this measure, you have the personal right to access that. You have the personal right to grow that, to produce that, whether it's an edible, whether you want to smoke it, whether you want to eat it, make it into a smoothie, drink it. It's about personal freedom. And there really is only 2 questions here. Is do you want to fuel the economy, or do you want to fuel the black market?
So then if your community does not want to have a dispensary, that is their choice. However, as a citizen there, you would be allowed to have it, to
You still
possess
have the
it,
personal
or
right.
to grow it yourself.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, you'd still have the personal right on your own property
Yep.
to grow and possess and use and things of that nature. It would be more from a
So if people want to find out more or volunteer or just get a little more educated on the topic, what are the links to the groups that will give them the most valid information that they can count on?
Right now, we're in the progress of building a website, but right now our main focus, our group is on Facebook, and you have to search for ND Cannabis Caucus, and that will get you to our main group. It's about 580, and we're probably, we don't have a lot of people that aren't active in that group. And then we have the Committee for Compassionate Care, and then several other groups linked, but most importantly is your local chapter. So after you join the main group, if you go ND Cannabis Caucus Fargo or Bisman or Minot or one of the several other chapters, you can get directed locally and get involved in sit-downs like this and more local petitioning, meet the leaders. Every chapter has its own admin and own leader in a different part of North Dakota. So we have, I believe we're up to 12 chapters now, so we're pretty busy, but there's always room for more people. We have tons of positions that are open, from social media to digital organizing. I mean, literally anything you can do, we'll use you somewhere.